I sit up so straight, and then if I crunch over, slump is bad too. No, you better delete that.
And and we're back.
We are on to our newly developed segment called that. Just again, we talked about this on our pivot announcement, boomerang announcement. This message resonated at our retreat, and it was the message of God honors marriage. So we have felt that is important enough for us to dedicate a whole episode to God honors marriage.
And we also have a lot of little tidbits on our Instagram, IG Live. Some small things and things that make you go, about that apply to marriage. So with that area on our IG, you can click on the highlight that says God honors marriage, and all of those are there. So definitely, if you want to see what we've been talking about, or follow us on Instagram, and you will be up to date. But we got something a little bit new and different because we don't necessarily talk about all the same things. We try to keep it new and fresh and diverse. So God honors marriage, period.
So we are going to do a frequently asked question this go round.
Yes.
And the question is, are ultimatums ever appropriate in a relationship? I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. Are ultimatums ever appropriate in a relationship?
I'm going to say no.
So, have you ever given an ultimatum in a relationship?
I'm going to say yes.
So the no is from growth.
No is definitely from knowing better.
Okay, gotcha. So let's just get real for a moment.
Okay, so
because I've given an ultimatum as well in my past.
One
or two.
I mean, I don't think that it's uncommon. And in my earlier marriage, I kind of thought that it was for the best, and I think I used to give people advice to be like, girl, you better tell him
an ultimatum
that if he don't have it right by whatever, move on, because we don't have time. But I mean, there also is that advice about having your own timeline in your head. You ain't got to give no ultimatum. When you're ready to go, you're ready to go. So regardless of if the ultimatum is given or not, your power is in what you're going to take, what you're going to handle, what you can control. Like, has nothing to do with the other person. So the ultimatum, the first one that I gave was about, let him tell it. Let him tell it. It was, I forced him to marry me.
Oh my goodness. How could you?
Well, okay, so, and of course, there's always an explanation. So the explanation is, he's way older than me. 2 years. So
I was like, what?
He was a senior when I was a sophomore in college. And we met in college. And so we met when I was a senior in high school and he was in college, recruiting visit. So he was finishing his basketball career in college and going to the next level. And so there was an opportunity for him to stay and play, and there was an opportunity for him to go overseas and play. And so while he was making that decision, I felt the need to insert me in the decision. Basically, it was like, what are we going to do? Because if this isn't something that I need to be a part of. Like, am I going over there too? Like, what is the deal? And if that's the case, then we need to be moving towards marriage. If not, then let me loose, because I'm trying to get an MRS. So, no, I'm just kidding. But I definitely told him, you know, if you stay, then I would want to be getting married. If you go, I would want to be getting married. We just need to figure out what it is, what this is. And I think that's what a lot of women do, is like, what are we doing? That whole question, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. But mine just had a little extra, if we're not doing nothing, then I'm out.
Okay. My ultimatum kind of was premarital as well. My first one.
Yeah.
But like,
why we gotta be explaining though? The situations that led to the need of the ultimatum.
So, in our dating, my goal was to buy my own house.
Okay, yeah.
Did it. Mm-hmm. He was a part of it.
Okay.
This was all before we got married, but obviously, because it was dating. But,
or wifey.
We didn't even say that then.
See? Respect
the word. So, I basically, I think this is how it went. I'm not for sure. I basically told him, I'm not trying to do this one income living for long.
Wait.
So while you up here helping me get houses and stuff, like helping me pick them out, not paying on them, I just need you to understand, I'm not going to be on this one income household situation for long.
Wow.
I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting this to be our home at some point while we out here looking for houses and stuff.
So this was not about, what was it? So were you implying marriage or were you implying money?
I meant, in my head, if we're combining money, I better be married to you.
Okay. Because I was like, dang, what if he was like, all right.
And just combining.
Let me move in with you.
Accounts? Oh, no. He knew.
That would have led to a whole nother conversation.
He knew it
probably wouldn't have been the one anyway.
He knew what was up. So,
But I'm surprised that y'all went through the whole process of buying a house.
Girl.
And then immediately was like...
Should I tell you the whole story? This joker bought a house. Mm-hmm. Then I bought a house. And then that joker proposed to me the first night in the house.
In your house?
In my new house. And I was so mad. I said, boy, you hurt. What did we just do? He was like, I didn't want to take your dream from you. I wanted you to be able to fulfill that. And I felt like if I proposed to you when it first hit me, you might not have gotten your house.
Hit me. Yeah, and I've never bought a house by myself, so that definitely is a feat. Or, that's a thing that you can say. I don't know.
I needed it, though, and I didn't know. I needed it just for a lot of reasons, because I had lived with my parents forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
So I needed to feel that. I needed to understand the process. I needed to know that I could do it on my own.
Okay.
Even though he walked me, he was with me because he has too many licenses and certifications and whatevers. So he was in real estate. So I was just like, all right, help me figure this out. And is this too expensive or is this reasonable? Blah, blah, blah. So I needed to go through it. I did. And I do appreciate it. I still wish that we wouldn't have done it like that. I'm like, because we ended up having to foreclose my home because we were renting it out and then the people weren't really paying for it. It was just all this mess.
Yeah.
So I was like, thank goodness. It's a part of his financial story, how we came out of that. Mm-hmm. But So everything happens for a reason. But it was just like, more trouble than it's worth. You could have just proposed to me. But I am glad I went through it.
Okay, so let's go back to the ultimatum. Do you think that it worked?
So here's the thing. In my controlling head, I felt like I needed to say that out loud just to let him know. But the reality is we had so many conversations about marriage and being ready and knowing that was the place that we were both in. And
right. So you didn't
feeling the connection. I didn't have to say that. I didn't. I know I didn't. Because we had so many thorough conversations and we both knew what was up. Right.
I wonder. Well, I mean, I think that being said, it did not. I think I got the ring, but it still wasn't what we were supposed to be doing anyway.
Oh.
So it was like,
gotcha.
Let's hurry up and rush this thing along. When I was like, I probably should have just let it play out how it was going to play out.
Oh my god!
And I feel like we would have ended up in the same place. So, but I just didn't have the faith of that. I wasn't mature in that, and I just wanted to make sure that he knew that I would be finding someone else if he decided to go. Which is the same thing I feel about. I've been telling him.
Ultimatums are threats, then, huh?
Yeah, it's a threat
ish,
or is it a promise? Or is it a request? Or is it an expression of what you would like to happen?
In a demanding way?
No, if there's a or else to it, then that's
or
a threat.
Else.
That's a threat.
Marry me or else.
Right. Or I need to have this by this date, or like that's a threat. So an ultimatum is when you think you're giving a choice to someone, and you are. It's like love me or leave me.
Yeah,
I guess
in this case.
Is it ever not that though? I can't think of a time or an ultimatum in marriage that's like.
Oh, when I said in this case, I just meant in life, not just marriage necessarily.
Oh,
but yeah, you're right. In marriage, it normally is love me or leave me.
And I don't really know of any.
Give me a compliment or leave me.
Yeah,
and that is love.
Yes,
words of affirmation.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. I think you're right. In marriage, it is normally centered around love me or leave me,
or. Yeah, love me or leave me alone. Let me find it somewhere else or whatever, that's not, I mean, we have a little bit of thing where we talk about like keeping points and all that stuff. And I think that kind of goes along with that too. That's not building people up.
No,
to tell them what you're about to do if they don't act right. And I can even tell you that later on in our marriage, way later, I remember there was no, when I took off the whole act right, otherwise I'm out. And I said, I see who you are. Is that the person that you want me to see you as? That made much more of an impact than saying, I see who you are. And if you don't change, I'm gone. Like there was no, like I finally got to the point where I was like, oh, so this is what this is. Okay, so when I'm ready to go, I'm going to be out. But it's nothing that you're going to be able to do that's going to make me feel like I'm going to stay or I'm going to leave. Like when I accepted finally, like, okay, so he really is going to act this way and these behaviors are going to stay that way and I'm going to be here until I'm tired of it. And that's my own, like, oh. And then all of a sudden he was like, no, I'm not that person. I was like, oh, that's all I have to say? Interesting.
So, why do you think people, we, Sweet Tea and Sunshine, why did we give ultimatums What's the cause? What's the purpose?
And not even saying I hadn't done one since then, because that was way big. But I have.
Yeah, you did one about a month ago.
I'm
just kidding.
I've committed these crimes.
I don't know for real. I'm just talking junk.
I think that I definitely have had a walk with removing control, and I think that in the midst of all of these ultimatums, I was definitely grasping for control.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, we over here trying to debo folks into marrying us. Like,
and I can't believe I actually suggested that someone else do that. I feel so bad. They married though.
Okay. Ooh, one of my favorite people says this. I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I love her. Yes. So here's my thing. Oh shoot! Please come back. Don't leave me. What was my thought?
Do they need the nudge? Do the men
Right, that was it. Like sometimes,
because if you're not
we
even
feel like
thinking
the pressure,
that,
like I think we have to put we feel that we have to put a little pressure. You said nudge, but I nudge pressure. Either
on the
way,
coal to turn it into a diamond. It needs pressure. Needs to be a
yes, science.
I got that from Alicia. Hey, girl.
So anyway, I miss her. So yes, I feel like women feel as if, and some men, we ain't gonna take all the blame.
I'll tell you what my coworker told me. A man.
What'd he say?
He said he's not married because she is fine.
I remember this conversation.
But then she also gave him an ultimatum and he didn't follow along with it, but they're still together. So I don't think that's what I think he was lying either way, because I feel like, but he said we probably would be married by now if she would have said, we need to be married.
That's crazy.
Or I'm gone.
That's what's so confusing.
Yeah.
And that's why we feel like we have to give ultimatums. But
so men, I mean, women and men, I think that we need to do another poll and say, like, you know, on Instagram, let us know, do you think that ultimatums are ever appropriate in relationships?
I like it, but you know me and my ADHD. I can't post and talk.
And you can't post right now?
I can't.
No.
Oh, you're right. You're right. This is next week's episode.
Uh-oh, the bag. It's out the bag. But no, I really want to know y'all's opinions. Because these are things that are human. And these are things that I know as a growing person in spirituality, like, it is not okay to control other people. It's not okay because, you know, we have to relinquish all of that at some point because the plan has been made already. And like I said about my ultimatum, I probably would have ended up married to the same guy. Like, I don't doubt that. No, we weren't all as mature as you guys with having long conversations and walks on the beach in the sunset or whatever.
We didn't do that.
The adult thing, buying houses and whatnot. No,
I don't know what was wrong with us. We just two old man and old
grown
woman,
up,
just trying to
acting grown, faking like you were grown.
But we were 20. 30.
Oh.
And you were 18 when
got together. Oh, yeah. When we first got together, I was.
Like, we were out of college.
Yeah, no.
When we got
so
together.
That is like, and you know, I have these rules. I be thinking 30 is grown. But anytime before that is like, you faking like you grown. You ain't really doing nothing real.
Yeah.
Like, the decisions that you make during that time really are kind of like, you think you know what you're doing. No one's got to figure it out. But like, you in your 20s, come on now. I'll be like, "Aw, that's cute."
Still a baby.
Right. You're doing what you think is supposed to be done.
Yes.
And I think that we thought that we were being in our 20s when we were in our 20s. We were in college.
Streets being in y'all 20s.
I know, trying to set up lives and whatnot. But anyways, yeah, I just want to know if people who are truly faithful have thought about giving ultimatums. Like, is that just because, like, we are who we are? Or is it because, like, that's something that everyone thinks about doing? I don't know enough
I think
people.
it's us. I think it's
It's like a personality, like an alpha chick situation. I'm about to handle this. Olivia Pope.
I think it's us. Because I can think of...
I know people who wait forever and ever.
That's what I was going to say. I can think of a single individual who has been in a few potentially serious relationships where it could have gone that way, and like maybe the conversation came up where you just need to ask them, and the individual was just kind of like, well, I'm not going to give him an ultimatum. I'm like, okay, girl. I probably would have, but and sometimes I do. Lord, I'm so conflicted because at first I was like, no, ultimatums are bad. But I guess if you're looking at it from the perspective of, I'm going to put this out there. These are the choices.
Right.
You can do with it what you will, but I am letting you know what's going to happen with me if we're not on the same page.
It's like taking back your power.
Which is control.
It's control. And control is a form of fear.
Yes.
Okay. So...
And you probably were afraid that he was going
to leave
you. My comment from the house was I was afraid that I was not going to be able to manage my own own
clearly
bills and household because I've never done it before. Like,
and that's scary. That definitely would be scary.
That was scary. I'm like, oh Lord, I'm doing. First of all, my daddy didn't want me to move out, so I can't go ask him for help. I'm dating this old boy that done got me out here buying houses and things behind his back. So, like, I'm like, listen here.
This is real. This is a real relationship.
We got to do something and get married because I don't know if I can do this by myself. It was like scary.
Yeah, but if it didn't work, then he'd leave me high and dry with these grown-up decisions. And then just think of a lot of those times, the ultimatum that a father would give a boy who got his daughter pregnant. Like, this is about you. You better step up and you better marry this girl. Because if not, what's going to happen to her? Now I'm scared.
Yeah, so that's what the ultimatum is.
It is. The ultimatum is functioning out of fear.
Oh my gosh. So there's a scripture for that.
And I just love how scriptures can hit you over the top of your head. And you're just like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
I mean, for real.
I needed that. Like, it's...
So if you're battling giving an ultimatum, or if you played around with the idea, or you're just, to the point, remember it's all in presentation.
Okay, pause before you read that. So, like, I just thought about someone said at work, that in a meeting, one of the teachers was like, if I have to do that, then I'm leaving. But it was comical when she said that because everyone's like, okay, bye. Like, it really was like, that is an ultimatum. But I'm thinking now, like, was that out of fear because you actually had to, like, step up and work?
It was, girl.
And then, like, it doesn't weigh anything when no one is invested in you like that. Like, it's November. You just got here in August. I'm sorry. I digress. But I'm just thinking about how ultimatums play out in other situations. Like, if you go into your workplace and your boss and you're like, I need $1 million or I'm leaving. Like, that's scary because you have to validate your worth. Like, you're basically putting your worth into someone else's hands. Like, am I worth it or am I not? Mm-hmm. But that's the same as what we did in our marriage ultimatums and our friend ultimatums. It's like you really have to put your value in someone else's hands, and that is scary as heck. That is like,
yeah, that's why it came from fear.
Yeah,
fear and control. Like we said before, you've already said it, but when we are trying to control things, we are afraid of what the outcome may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
And we are relying heavily on ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Our own wills and egos.
Oh, man. Ego. Ugh, that's something you got to tear down almost daily.
Oh,
die to the flesh daily.
Girl,
next episode, we'll do that one on the next episode. When I'm talking about daily, girl.
Daily.
So, yes, what John 14:27 says is, peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let them be afraid. And I just like that peace. I wasn't at peace. I was like worried about it. I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do. Okay. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell this joker, let's get it now and get married. So I won't be out here on a limb by myself.
Right. And mine was, so I won't have to find another husband.
So we were not living in peace. The sweet tea and sunshine interpretation of this scripture is rest yourself and have a seat.
Have a seat, sis.
It will all work out. It really will.
Just relax.
And rely on the strength of the Lord, not your own strength and might. And honestly, if it's a person you feel like you need to give an ultimatum to,
you have to check yourself.
You might have to do a little self-reflection. Like, wait a minute.
Like, why am I feeling like I need to do this?
Yes.
Is it because you're questioning your self-worth?
Right.
Because, someone who knows who they are and knows their self-worth really wouldn't be asking for someone else to evaluate it.
Right.
You would already know. And he would know.
And if it's a situation where you're just not communicating fully enough, like it could be, you don't have to give an ultimatum. You can let people know what you're looking for and what your expectations are. And just without trying to force someone into a situation, you could just say, well, you know what it is.
Right.
And if maybe we can't get on the same page about this, perhaps it's time for us to go our separate ways. And it's a mutual discussion. It's not a forceful, it's not a, I'm going to make you do this. It is an understanding. Right. And basically goal setting when you're like you're setting the boundaries and you're laying it all out there. And sometimes being vulnerable is scary.
Yeah.
So rather than being vulnerable, some of us are saying, do this or blank. But you got to let your guard down at some point and have a real honest conversation and live in peace.
Peace is the key word.
Once you have put it out there to know that the Lord is going to work the rest of it out.
Yeah. That's good.
I like that.
I feel good about it.
we felt convicted,
right,
and renewed, and
I mean, yeah, and I want to know what other people feel. Like I know that our answer is not always the end all be all. Especially with frequently asked, we are not experts, and we will never claim to be. We just live this life and have experienced a piece of it ourselves that we can share, and so that's the fun part in it. I really would love to hear what you, your spouse, your friends have to say about this topic. frequently asked questions will hopefully appear on each podcast, but if not, we'll try to get them in as much as possible. If you have some that you want to share, by all means, share it. And we will find a way for it to be anonymous. Or if you don't care, we won't read your name or anything like that. We will.
And you could say, I'm asking for a friend, duh.
I mean, clearly you are. It's never personal.
Right.
All right. That was an awesome show, and I look forward to it. I do want to pause and celebrate
my birthday.
Girl, your birthday is not... First of all, my birthday is coming sooner than yours, and you know how we celebrate, and you know it's a big year for me, so we are not even going to mention that until December at least.
Good.
Good. But I do want to celebrate another big number for us, because we are going in next year will be our 3rd year of the podcast. But we have reached a milestone in podcast world. And so we're excited just to be on another level as far as numbers. We have a lot of downloads, a whole lot of downloads. And we would love to have more. Share. Keep sharing. We love you. We also would love to provide more and like make things prettier and neater. And like now that we're in this position, we definitely plan on doing a lot of upgrades to the podcast. So please continue with your support. We also have a Patreon account if you want to contribute to that. And you love the content and you want to see more, you want to hear more, then we are definitely welcoming your support. Catch us on IG, Instagram, the Sweet Tea and Sunshine Podcast.
Please tag your friends in our posts if you feel like there is something of value for them to see on the page. It's just a place for inspiration for marriage and a place for food for thought. Thank you so much to the followers that we currently have that have been chiming in and, you know, letting us know that there is some value to the things that we are posting, because basically everything we post are things that we've learned in our combined, how many years of marriage? 27 finished years of marriage. So 29 years of marriage. So, you know.
And it also is stuff that's coming from our hearts and from our minds. So we want to make sure that we are reading the right things, interpreting the right things. And like we said before, if there's interesting topics, we're going to read through it. We're going to try to do as much as we can to reteach and retell current stories and research too. So it's not like we're just making things up. We definitely love to talk and we love to be creative, but we also are interested in giving you the truth about life and relationships.
Yes.
All right. So we will see y'all next time. And we also are on YouTube. Did I mention that already?
Nope.
Hey, y'all on YouTube. So if you want a visual representation of what we are, or you just like to hear our voices, it's up to you. But we are on YouTube, Sweet Tea and Sunshine. All right. We will see y'all. Talk to y'all later.
See you next time.
Bye.